Hi everyone, it's Neil Patel, and today's another day of LinkedIn Unlocked, where I teach you advanced strategies to turn business connections into leads and customers. Today we're going to be breaking down creating the right profile. And before we get started, I want to start off with a quote. Oftentimes, in order to capture your dreams, it'll require you to chase your fears. As I mentioned in this lesson, I'm going to be breaking down profile optimization and how to set up that perfect profile. In the previous lesson, we went over data analysis. If you haven't seen that, go to neilpatel.com/training and click on LinkedIn Unlock. So let's start off with picking the right profile picture. I want you to pick a photo that looks like you. I know that sounds simple, but a lot of people want to use photoshopped images, stuff that doesn't reflect how they look today. I'm not talking about what you look like 5 or 10 years ago, or what you could look like in the future. I want you to use an image that looks like you today. If you decide to get a whole new hairdo, we'll make sure that you take pictures to resemble that hairdo, so then that way when people see you, they can connect the dots. You also want to make sure that image of you is in a high resolution. Ideally, your profile should be 400 by 400. Opt for a different image if it's blurry after uploading. You don't want someone to look at that image and it being super blurry. When you also upload an image, your face should take up roughly 60% of the frame. If it takes up too little, that means people don't really get a good connection of who you are, what you look like. If your image is mainly of your suit or your outfit, that's not a good image. So in that case, you may need to crop the image, and that's fine. Just make sure it's the top of your shoulders or around the shoulders, so in that way you can see all the way from a little bit of your clothes to just a little bit above your head. And make sure you're also the only person in that picture. You don't want to put a picture with 3 other people in there. People are going to be like, wait, who's Neil? Who's Brittany? And when you just put a picture of just yourself, it allows people to see who you are with no confusion. If there's other people in the image, either choose another image or crop them out. I also recommend that you have someone else take your picture. Don't do selfies. Make sure it's super professional. Remember, LinkedIn isn't a personal social network. It's a B2B social network. So make sure you're using that nice, clean, crisp image. You don't want too much stuff in the background. I usually just tell people to do a white background of their face, so that way their face can be seen and there's no distortion in the background or distractions. When you have that picture, you want to make sure that you have that right expression. You don't want to be sad face or grin or too serious. You want to be light. Why? Because culture is very important when people are either hiring you or when they're doing business with you. They want to work with people that are friendly, that they can get along with. So smiling can help put candidates at ease. And just practice smiling in front of a mirror if you're unsure, and then you can get a quick understanding of, all right, this is what you should do or what you shouldn't do. And as I mentioned, no distracting backgrounds. Try to just keep the focus on your face. You can crop out the background. There's a lot of free photo editing tools you can Google for that. So let's look at the headline section. Your headline is underneath your name. It's roughly 120 characters, at least that's the limit, including spaces, and your headline should provide benefits to the viewers and include the right keywords. If you include the wrong keywords, then people won't know how to find you whenever they're searching on LinkedIn. Then next, there's a summary section. So let's look at my summary section. I want you to be authentic. There's a 2,000 character limit. You don't have to be short to the point. I recommend going more in depth because people want to get to know about you. Make your summary keyword rich, provide data to back up your results, and have a clear call to action. You can look at mine, you'll see there. I talk about what I do, the services I offer, and heck, even if people want to hire me for public speaking engagements, I mention that in my LinkedIn profile as well. LinkedIn, of course, has an experience section, and that's a large chunk of LinkedIn, and you need to fill out the experience that you've had. So I'll break down the companies I've worked at, my past job positions. I'm probably not the best example of this because I've been an entrepreneur for pretty much most of my life, other than working at a theme park or selling vacuums door to door. But here's an example of one of my CEOs, Mike Gullickson, and he breaks down, he's a CEO of NP Digital, and then from there he worked at iProspect as a president, and then he was at Cavario and iCrossing. But be specific with your jobs. And what a lot of people do is they'll just say, all right, here's my position at that company. Well, if you had multiple positions within that company, show how you got promotions. that's good for you. It actually makes you a more likable candidate for potential recruiters, and it makes it where other businesses are more likely to do business with you. And the reason being is if you kept getting promotions, what does that tell people? Hey, you must be talented. You must be good at whatever you specialize in, and people should pay attention to you. And again, in this section, don't forget the keywords. And whenever you can, show credibility. Like if you're an advisor to a company or investor or a board member, all of that helps as well. And of course, when you're writing these things in text and description sentences, show your personality. People want to work with like-minded people. Next section is the education section. You want to maximize your academic history. I know college isn't everything, but still, there's some people, some companies that place emphasis on this, whether it's going in for a quick brush-up degree or a sales course or certification or an MBA. Everything adds up. So list it all there and share your story, your professional story on who you are, your degrees, why you have them, and the whole purpose of them. The next section, and this is my favorite section, is the volunteer section. Where do you volunteer? Where do you help out? Fill this out. People don't want to just know about your corporate life. They also want to know about your personal life. What's funny is I've gotten a lot of business from volunteering over the years, not because I volunteered and be like, who can I volunteer with to get more business? I volunteered with causes that my wife and I believe in. And funny enough, naturally, I ended up doing business with some of those people. I didn't pitch them. They came to me. They tried doing business with me, but it ended up working out in a good way. And another funny story is I've done business with people and they found me on LinkedIn. They're like, hey, we're part of the same causes. And we never met through the causes, but more so they found me on LinkedIn through it. And that's helped as well. Whatever you've done on a volunteering side, list that out. The next section is skills and endorsement. So with that section, list out your skills. You can have up to 50 skills listed on your profile. I want you to feature your strengths, your most in-demand skills, what people really look forward to you with, what you're really known for, and reorder and showcase them based on your top 10 best skills. Keep your endorsements fresh. Reach out to friends, colleagues, ask them to endorse you. And of course, take courses to learn new skills so that way you keep growing, and getting better. And then that way, more people are likely to give you better recommendations, which is the next section. What's cool about recommendations is not only can you receive them, but you can give them as well. And when you end up giving recommendations, you'll find that people will start giving them back. So explain the nature of your professional relationship, explain how you contributed or helped grow their company or what you did for them. And what you'll find is they'll also start giving you a recommendation as well. Think about it as a social network, which LinkedIn is. You can ask for recommendations or you can give recommendations, and you want to do both, but be picky when you do this. Be very thoughtful. Don't give recommendations for someone that you don't believe in because that makes you look bad as well. And I wouldn't just go out there blatantly asking a lot of people for recommendations. You want the people that do recommend you to be well-known, higher positions, or more established than you because that brings you up in a better light. The next section on LinkedIn is interests. So with the interest section, this pretty much consists of news sources, influencers, companies, schools, groups. It's a great way for you to connect more with like-minded individuals. So when you do this, what you'll find is it'll open the door to better networking opportunities. Just think about it this way. You're more likely to do business with people who are similar to you. And that's why you want to add interests on LinkedIn. What are your interests? What organizations and companies do you want to follow? What influencers do you want to follow? By just clicking on the follow button for these profiles, it'll automatically add them to your interest section so that way people know what you're interested in and what you're not interested in. As Zig Ziglar once said, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get to where they want. In other words, help people out. With LinkedIn, it's not just about you, it's about others. And that's what makes people successful on LinkedIn. Now, next week, I'm going to go and discuss network growth and what you could do to get more followers on LinkedIn, boost your network, which will eventually lead to more revenue as well. Now, with growing your network, I'm going to give you a little quick glimpse. Best practices include finding people you know, sharing relevant content, and joining groups and getting involved in the conversations. As a first step, you can go and try to connect me or follow with me on LinkedIn. Don't just be generic when you're connecting with people. Try to give them a customized response so that way they're much more likely to connect with you. And don't look back and ask why. Look ahead and ask why not. Go out there, don't be shy, don't worry. It's not like you have to see these people every single day, so don't be shy. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it. Make sure you go to neilpatel.com/training, click on LinkedIn Unlocked. This is week 1, lesson 2, where you can end up finding the modules right underneath the video to help you succeed on LinkedIn. Thank you for your time.